the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Hi, race fans. We're here tonight in the desert, and already looking like the 82 machine out there is wanting to try a new way around the track backwards, as we're in the middle of qualifying right now. Last race before we go to the championship race at Homestead here, the Truck Series. Man, it has been a good one here for the Sim500 Sim Speed Shop.com Truck Series. Qualifying underway as always. I'm Joe White up here in the booth, accompanied by Gerald West. Gerald, how you doing, man?
I'm doing a lot greater since I sat down here next to you, sitting next to a star.
Oh, that it? That makes you feel good?
Well, yeah, you're a great person to sit next to.
I hear you. The world's the 82 doing out there? I mean, he's trying to figure out if he can run a qualifying lap backwards.
Well, hey, I don't, the funny thing is, this qualifying session here is a lot of guys didn't qualify, not sure why, but a lot of guys didn't qualify, Checo being one, Tommy Ryan as well. A couple guys didn't.
I see that. What's up, K Hill? How you doing? Well, tonight, after tonight, 4 drivers are going to go to next week race for a championship. And right now, E.J. O'Rourke, he has the top spot. Chad Coleman sits in second. I'm going to pretty much go out on a limb and say those 2 guys, they would need a total disaster to probably fall out of it. I'm going to say they're pretty much locked. The biggest battle has got to be here for 3rd place, 4th, and the 5th place. And that would be David Comstock, who's sitting in 3rd, Timothy Johnson in 4th, and Justin Fuller right on the outside, 1 point out. So, with that said, right now, David and Timothy sitting 4th on the speed starting grid. David Comstock on pole, and Justin Fuller not qualified yet.
No, the 00 is way back there, I believe in like 26th spot, somewhere way in the back. But he ain't the only one, Dave Comstock, Timothy Johnson, and Justin Fuller, man, they're gonna be battling. 2 of them will get in, 1 of them won't make it, and it looks like 2 of them starting in the back. Justin Fuller and Steve Gottschalk, I believe.
Absolutely. Well, we're in the right here tonight. We're in the desert here, Phoenix. This can be a tricky place here to get around. Well, let's grid them up. As David Comstock, we just mentioned, he has 8 points there into the good, sitting in 3rd, coming in here tonight to get to that number, to the one of the 4 to get to the championship next week. He's on pole. Nick Tim starting that out in 2nd. 3rd place man Trey Edson, and Timothy Johnson right there sitting in the 4th place bubble, 1 point to the good. So he's definitely got to come out here with a good finish here tonight. Starting 4th, 5th place man Steve Gottschalk. E.J. O'Rourke, he's the points. What?
Yeah, I was wrong. I thought he was starting in the back. He's starting, what, 4th, you said?
5th, yeah. Nerf man himself. Yeah, well, Newton, England man. And we got EJ O'Rourke sitting in 6th here. He's coming in leading the points. And like I say, he's got a big lead. Pretty much, I'm going to say, kind of safe there. Bobby Terrell sitting in 7th. Ryan Howard 8th. 9th place, Glenn Campbell. And Chad Coleman, 2nd place man in points. Just rounds out the top 10s. We look through here. Like I just said, this is out in the desert. This track, I don't know. It's got mixed views with what I've seen racing-wise, Gerald.
Well, I got a lot to say about this track here. This race here tonight is very important. It's a tough track too, you know. Some people are good at it, and some people just can't figure it out. And you know, sometimes I can't figure it out. It just depends on how the car feels that night. And Phoenix, man, is a crucial track, especially being the last race before the Homestead race. So, I mean, you really got to come out of here with a good finish, especially Dave Comstock, Timothy Johnson, and Justin Fuller. You know, 2 of those guys will make it, I would say, unless we have something really bad happen to one of these other guys. You know, it's going to be a battle because the points are tight, and Phoenix is just a tough place. So, you know, starting on the pole would be a good thing, and it looks like Dave Comstock's fast, so he's making sure he can lock himself into the next one.
Well, that's the way to do it. I mean, come out here, put it on pole, win the race. You ain't got nothing to worry about. I mean, that's the best way of doing it. As like you said, putting it out front there. He is 8 points to the good to the man, Justin Fuller, who is sitting back in the 5th place spot, and then Timothy Johnson, who is 1 point ahead of Justin Fuller. So that's a tight battle for those 2 spots right there. But
yeah, I mean, you got 10 points separating 3rd, 4th, and 5th in points, and only 4 move on.
Absolutely. Pace cars in. We're going green flag racing. We'll get this thing started here, and we'll keep it updated throughout the whole entire race on what's going on as David Comstock brings them to the line and starts everybody off here. Good start for everybody here racing at Phoenix.
Yeah, it looks like Chad Cole dropping to the back. No, he's trying to miss that 48. It's been sideways right there. It looks like a little contact between the 48.
Let's go back on a replay, see what happened here on the start. The viewers, everybody loves wrecks.
Bobby Wetzel's the 9 truck there.
40, oh, looks like, yeah, the 9 maybe missed a gear shift or something. Truck just kind of stopped. Maybe missed something there, and then, like I said, Jimmy North nowhere to go.
Yeah, I think they'll be too bad here at Phoenix. They did get into each other. May cause a little bit of problems with the handling or something, but it wasn't too bad, so they should be fine.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. David Comstock's still out front. Trey Edson, which we know that guy can drive the wheels off anything. Nick Timms, just 9 times right there in 3rd. Steve Goschalk sitting up in the 4th place spot. EJ O'Rourke's 5th. Timothy Johnson, and like I say, we're going to keep a close eye on David and Timothy Johnson. And this man right here, Justin Fuller, who is up to 15th. Now, he didn't put a qualifying time in, but he's got his work cut out for him to go through the field.
Oh, yeah, you know, and great start so far, you know, pretty much single file. That little mix-up there between Bobby Wetzel and the 48. But worst part about that is they both went, you know, a lot further back there. Bobby's back in 27th, and Jimmy North all the way back to 30th. So they got a lot of work ahead of them as well to come up through here. But looks like it's going to go green here for a little bit.
Yeah, and that's surprising. Like I say, this placement sometimes can bring about it a lot of cautions. It's a really tough place to pass. Kind of a flat turn coming out of turn 4. You have to be really easy on the throttle as the tires go off. Now let me ask Gerald, as far as Justin Fuller's move goes, do you see that? You know, I know he's fast. Does it pay off in the long run for him to start in the back?
You know, that's yet to be determined. We're going to have to wait and see. You know, your guess is as good as mine. He started 24th. He's picked up 10 spots so far. He's up to 14th, and he's on the inside of the 2 right now looking for that spot. So that's Mike Kelly's fighting wit right there.
Absolutely.
He's moving quick, Joe.
Yeah, he is. He's coming up through there, that 00. I mean, and he has to, because as of right now, you know, David Comstock being out front, he's doing what he's got to do to hang on to it. Timothy Johnson is the man who is 1 point ahead of Justin Fuller. He's doing what he needs to do in 6th. So no matter what Justin has to do, I think really his sights are set on Timothy Johnson. And if I'm not mistaken, I should know 100% by now, because, you know, 1 race left in the season, but halfway with the bonus points, you know, he definitely wants to be in top 10 because he don't want to give up any more points to those two guys up front.
Yeah, and he made it hard on himself starting there in the back. And Dave Comstock, Timothy Johnson, they started up front, you know, to give themselves the best chance. I'm not sure if he thought there might be some kind of mix-up up front, you know, on the initial start of this race. Maybe he was just trying to steer clear, you know, anything that might happen on the first lap, which is usually when stuff happens. If you can get through the first lap, usually it starts to run out for a little while.
Let me ask, how this is a tricky place to get around, can be, but I mean, you know, right now I see everybody kind of being patient, kind of being single file. How hard is it to pass here?
Oh, it's tough, you know, and I'm not sure, you know, what these guys are dealing with handling wise, but you know, that plays a big role in it as well. You got to have a good truck. It's got to have some grip, you know, and you got to have a place to do it. Usually, track's awful hot. It's 111 degrees out there, I believe, and that means it's a little bit slick. So sometimes you get on the braking. If you try to go to the inside of somebody, you usually got to use a lot of braking. And when the track's hot like that, it kind of tends to slide a little bit before it actually picks up. So yeah, it makes it tough. You know, easy to push up into somebody that you're trying to get down on the inside of.
Yeah, I kind of like this place a little bit, but when I ran it, it's just a tricky place, especially coming off turn 4 there. Almost kind of a flat style coming off of it. You got to be very careful. We're still watching Justin Fuller here. He is making waves. He's picking them up, knocking them down one by one. He's up right there near Sean Bounty, looking to take that 11th place spot. So he's doing what he needs to do. Stay clean, calm, cool, and collective in the kick-ass beef jerky machine and come to the front. But also this man up front, though, here, Gerald, David Comstock. I mean, what can you say? The 42. Wow. He's holding off the hard charge in number 10 there, Trey Edson.
And he's really been performing well. You know, he's coming off a win at Texas, too. You know, he got that win there. So he's coming in hot here in the chase, man. You know, giving himself the best chance that he can to get that trophy. I know this thing is really important to these guys. They've been racing for a long time, Joe. You've seen it. We've been up here week in, week out, watching these guys race hard. And, you know, it's time to go now. It's work time. You know, do the best you can and give yourself the best chance because you've been working hard all season.
You know, and now's the time to get hot. And like you just said, David Comstock coming in. He is red hot here to look to go in and solidify his spot for that championship for next week. Now, what this does, E.J. O'Rourke and Chad Coleman, obviously, I mean, unless just disaster strikes, they pretty much locked into the top 2 spots. And what they've got to look at is like, David makes it in. Boy, he's pretty quick. Now we got to worry about, can we beat him?
Yeah, that ain't easy. You see what he's doing out there now and what he did at Texas. You know, and that win at Texas was the second win. So he's one of the 2-time winners here or more, you know. I believe Nick Cohan has won the most races here, but I mean, he's been doing a great job, you know, all season. Starting on the pole would be the best place to be here, Joe. We're under caution.
Yes, we are. Caution's out here. As I didn't see who it was. Don't know, it might have been Chris Jaboo. Trying to look back here and see.
Yeah, that's a good question, Joe.
A beer can on the track.
Maybe so.
We'll just call it on that one of phantom style cautions. But you know, we're talking about the points.
Oh,
and that's
44, Joe. 44.
44. All right.
Yeah, he
44.
It was right there and
44, 45.
Coming into the last turn, the 44 truck. Glenn Campbell. It was actually pretty quick caution, you know. He slid it sideways. He had a little help from the 20.
What's up, Oliver?
But he caught it.
Found it. Yeah, let's go back here and see. Yeah, he was actually, that's up front. He didn't drop. That's why I didn't see it. Oh, yeah, looks like him and Chad Coleman just got together. And, wow, normally that don't throw a caution, man. I tell you what, on an instant like that. iRacing must be generous. Yeah, it was an awesome save. iRacing must be generous tonight. You know?
Usually they won't throw that caution unless you're 90 degrees, you know, on the track. And for him to be 90 degrees and catch it, you know, coming through the trova like that, which is one of the worst parts about this track. Yeah, especially when it's hot as it is. Phenomenal save by him. It was a great job.
Yeah, no doubt. Puts Chris Jaboo did not pit, but you got David Comstock wins the battle off pit road. Steve Goschalk right there in second. Nick Timms was the 9 times himself up to 4th. Trey Edson there in 5th. Bobby Terrell the 6th. E.J. O'Rourke up to 7th. Timothy Johnson still hanging on to 8th. Look right there behind him, breathing down his back door. And folks, just to show you how relevant this is, Justin Fuller's the 9th. He is 1 point behind Timothy Johnson on the cutoff for 4th place in the championship. So if anybody's feeling pressure, it's got to be Timothy Johnson out there right now.
Yeah, I would say so. You know, Dave Comstock, he's going to have his hands full because Chris stole that lead from him. But Justin Fuller, you know, he's picked up a lot of spots. Like I said, he started back in, I believe, 24th is where he started. So he's up to 9th now. So he's picked off a lot of drivers here on his way up. And that's only, what, the first 10, 15 laps of Green Flag Racing.
Well, you know, this puts a mindset of Timothy Johnson as we get set to go by Green Flag Racing here at Phoenix. The fact of he knows now there's not going to be no sitting back being patient. He's going to have to run that machine because Justin Fuller's running his heart out. Green flag flies. We're back racing here at Phoenix. Folks, one race before we go to the chase. Championship race, that is, next week. And Chris Jaboo gets a jump out front, but he's on like 18-lap old tires. The problem is he's going to get freight trained here in a second.
Yeah, and you seen what happened right there? He come down into 1 and no grip at all, slipped all the way up the racetrack, and 7, 8 trucks past him on the first lap. About to be 9 here if Ryan Howard gets around him or Chad Coleman. But Dave Comstock gets that lead back like he wanted.
Yes, he does, and Justin Fuller made it around Timothy Johnson and E.J. O'Rourke. So at this point right now, just put Justin Fuller in the 4th place spot in the points championship, and Timothy Johnson's outside looking in. That guy in the 00 is hot and heavy, and he wants this win here tonight. He's coming through the field like a madman.
Yeah. Aftermath Motorsports, man, they're dominating here in Phoenix. They come in with a lot of good cars, it looks like. So they're really populating the top 5. And here comes, you know, Justin Fuller. E.J. O'Rourke, our points leader, he's running really well up there as well. So it's been a great showing here for Aftermath Motorsports.
No doubt. And I tell you what, right there, man, Justin Fuller working over Trey Edson, just swoops right up underneath him and takes that spot. Next target there on his radar is going to be Steve Goschalk. Well, Trey says I'm not done yet, but I'm going to tell you what, they got kick-ass beef jerky on there if you take the beef jerky part off. But, oh, that's not what Justin Fuller wanted. He's going around.
Yeah, oh, my goodness. I think he held on to it there.
Nobody hit him, Gerald. Wow. That was amazing because he spun right in the middle of the field and nobody hit him. That could have been disastrous, and right there could have been pretty much one and done for the championship. Now, it does put him way back in the back, but woo! Wow.
Yeah, he's gonna have to let everybody by and, you know, all that stuff. So all that hard work that he's done right down the drain right there. And I hate to see it for him, you know. It was his teammate there on the inside of him.
Yeah.
You know, just going into the corner that close together, you know, things can happen.
But you know what, and I'm going to tell you, people out there can maybe agree, not agree, or whatever. I love it. I want guys, I understand guys are out here racing for championships, and the one thing that I hate to see is guys pulling over and going, oh, well, you're going for the title, I ain't got nothing race. No, look, if I'm as fast as you are, race them. Now, obviously, don't wreck them, but race the guy hard. Don't just pull over and give him an easy time to the front. I've seen that so many time again.
Yeah.
So, the reason I bring that up is because they're teammates, and you saw them racing hard. Now, obviously, they got together just a little bit, but it was side-by-side contact. But I like that. They were racing each other. It wasn't like, hey, go on ahead, Justin. I know what you got. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, man. We have that problem. on Tuesdays. You know, the chase started and people just don't want to show up because of it, and that really hurts us because it eliminates the amount of points that we can put in between each other, and we're racing for points. So if there's only 20 points out there when there's been 40 points the whole season, you know, it's really hard to make up points when the chase comes. And just like you said, when people just move out of the way, that's a point that's moving out of the way for, you know, so I hate to see it.
What do you mean, Oliver? This is a fixed setup, so everybody's on a fixed setup out here. There is no open setup here. There is no fast fix, so obviously, you know, like I say, Justin Fuller, he pretty much got a gift there. He didn't get hit, didn't tear the truck up or anything, so didn't have no damage. But yeah, I'm like you, Gerald, and it's good, you know, when you talk about, we've got 30 trucks here, so, you know, realistically, you know, I say EJ O'Rourke. Yeah, I mean, that's what I say. EJ O'Rourke is pretty much locked in. There is only like a 22-point difference or something like that. I mean, yeah, they could wreck, fall out the race, and, you know, Dave Comstock win, and guess what? Boom. You know, could leapfrog them, but it's gonna have to be a disaster for that to happen.
Yeah, well, if you notice it, you look at the field, there's 30 trucks here tonight, when, you know, this season it's been 40, and that's 10 extra points just from guys not showing up, you know.
Yeah,
so
true,
you got points not coming into the race, and then you got points moving out of the way. So if you look at them as points instead of trucks, then you understand what we're getting at.
Absolutely. And that's what I'm saying. I am still impressed with the 30 trucks here, because usually, man, by this time, I agree with you, a lot of leagues suffer. But here tonight, man, as we go back green, Sim500, SimSpeedShop.com Truck Series, one race before the chase here, Dave Comstock is doing what he needs to do. He doesn't care what's going on behind him. He's wanting to lead and win. And obviously winning definitely guarantees your spot for him, so to speak. Now, Timothy Johnson is doing what he's doing, and Justin Fuller, well, he got his work cut back out for him again. Now he's got to come back through that field and hope he doesn't get into trouble again.
Yeah, I wonder if he's going to be as patient or less patient, you know.
Well, he's working over the back end of that 40, and right now it doesn't look like, as he goes 3 wide, you know, at this point, and the 6 machine kind of losing it, going down the bottom. I don't know if that's going to trigger a caution or not. You know what? That's crazy. Look at that. The 6 spun all the way around, down on the apron. No caution. But, what is it? Glenn Campbell's went a little bit sideways to the caution.
Well, he spun underneath the solid yellow line there. Yeah. And right in front of pit row. You know, that area doesn't count because you usually have cars coming on and off pit row.
Yeah. I just thought it was funny, man, and, you know, to do it. I guess iRacing's kind of drunk tonight, but, man, I'm watching Justin Fuller. He is definitely not holding back, and I guess he kind of feels like he can't hold back, and, you know, he's in a must to get back up front. He's already up to 18. I mean, he's picking them off left and right, side by side. Definitely hitting on 3 wide, hitting on all 8 cylinders. He's got a fast truck. But here, Gerald, you know and I know, don't want to get yourself in trouble.
Yeah, he looks a lot faster than a lot of these trucks he's going around. So he's definitely driving it harder than anybody else out there. Well, not anybody, because I'm sure Dave and the guys up front are running pretty hard. But, you know, these guys that are running around where they're running at, they're kind of just out there running around. Not really 100%, but say 98. And he's running 110, so he looks a little faster.
Well, he's going to go 3 wide right here and try to take Ryan Howard. I'm going to tell you what, I don't know why I want to keep calling that guy Ron for. I apologize, Ryan, out there. My bad. All season long, I should have got it right. But Scott Simley's the next here. I mean, Justin Fuller's fast now. Most notably, too, want to congratulate him. He made the Pro Series in the new truck thing that they've got going on, so he actually got his pro license in that.
Awesome. Yeah, that's tough to do, man, you know. So yeah, he deserves it.
Yeah. Oliver, you're crazy. He said Tim's in charge of the flags tonight. Maybe that's what's wrong, Gerald.
Yeah, it could be, yeah. Yeah, see, I don't know a whole lot about what it takes to get a pro license. I just know that it's really hard to do.
Yeah. Well, they had a qualifying race, was a race for pro in the truck series for the officials. Yeah, for the officials for the trucks. Obviously, you have to have a certain I rating. I mean, his is 5,400. I think you have to have 3 or higher or 4 or higher. I've read some of the qualifications. To get into peak style, you have to go through the qualifications again. And I think now they're trying to make it a little easier for guys to get into that because this truck series is kind of a step towards it, which is kind of cool with iRacing because that means it's growing and everything else. And all the result, that was funny. Tim out there in charge of the flags.
Yeah. Tim's off tonight.
Yeah, Tim's off. He said he was happy about that and appreciate him out there. But if he is waving the flags, he needs to pay attention.
Calm down.
Calm down. That's it. So,
that coffee.
Yeah, not too much of it. Justin Fuller's moving through the field. I'm watching him, man. I tell you, because Dave Comstock right now has got a 1.7 second lead over Steve Goschak. So really, the biggest thrilling thing right now is watching Justin Fuller navigate through this field. And then when I say navigate, he's doing it 2 wide, 3 wide, single file, 1 truck at a time. And right there, man, he's driving that thing.
Yeah, it's go time. He picked up about 5 spots in the last 2 or 3 laps. Caution's out. Oh, hard hit, too. Wow. Another one was involved, Joe.
All right, let's go back here and see. I see the one, like you just said, involved. Oh, man, truck in front of it. And then the one, just came out of turn 4. And then the 06, who's the 06? That's Doug Sigmund. Man, nowhere to go, but yeah, Chris Jaboo looks like pretty much what we talked about. Came out of turn 4, really slick. Bumps the wall a little bit. Man.
That was a hard hit for him.
Yeah, I know. I'm glad he don't have no whiplash effect on his rig. That would hurt.
Yeah, I've seen videos of people that had their thumb broken from hitting the wall. So really? I would recommend turning your force feedback down a little bit. Yeah. They got some really, really nice equipment out there, and it will break your not only your finger, your arm.
You know what? And I watched a video of guys who do the what's the trucks, man, that go through the deserts and stuff? What is that?
The Bajas.
Bajas, okay, yeah. I watched the thing, and those guys, they talk about the trucks and, the steering wheel jerking and stuff. And you know what? Subconsciously, when I do real driving or even when I do on the sim, they actually take their thumbs and set them on top of the steering wheel. Because if their thumb is inside, crest around it like normal, and that steering wheel jerks, the spokes in there could break their thumb. So they actually keep them on the top. Or they press the actual steering wheel itself, so that way if it does jerk, it just slides right out their hand.
Oh, yeah, and we see people do it, not only on the big tracks like NASCAR, but at the local tracks. I mean, matter of fact, the Bowman Gray show that's on Discovery Channel, he did it last week. He hit the wall, and, he thought he broke both his hands, but he just broke his thumb, so.
Yeah, it can happen. I mean,
something that happens, yeah.
And, we talk about it, and just subconsciously, like I say, I drive a real car. That's pretty much what I do because I'm sitting thinking about it. It makes sense, if you have your hands gripped around the wheel and that wheel jerks, that spoke in the middle part there swing around, and where's your thumb? It's sitting right there on it.
That's right. Yes, sir. Yes. And to go back to the race, I tell you what, Dave Comstock, I was watching him before the caution came out right there. And he was about 2/10 faster than the whole field, and he had a great lead, man. So he lost a lot of time that he had worked for, so he's going to probably try to do that again. But, I mean, he is extremely fast.
He's been on point all night long, especially with his restarts. And every time he's got out front here, Steve Goschak's just not been able to do anything. Nick Timms behind him there. Timothy Johnson and all. I mean, right now, Timothy Johnson is fighting to stay in that 4th place because he knows Justin Fuller is fast. Justin back there in 15th spot if he can get back up front as we get set to go back. Green flag racing here at Phoenix. Pace cars coming out of the turn. And drop off on pit road here. And let that man, David, up front go back to work. As pace cars in, green flag's going to fly. We're racing back here at Phoenix. David Comstock gets another good jump out front.
A great start there over Steve Gottschalk. Steve's got a fast truck too. He's been up there in the top 5, and EJ O'Rourke, the 41. And, you know, he kind of laid back there at first. Now he's putting it up there. He's trying to make a pass around Steve for second.
Maybe he's looking like, well, I tell you what, if David does get into this Final 4 spot here, maybe I better show that I can put up speed with him. He was back there hanging out. Now he's up to second. Got a good tussle going on back here in the back. Chad Coleman, Mike Kelly, Glenn Campbell, all of them are side by side.
Great racing going on up here in the top 10, you know, and I'd love to be out there with these guys. They put on a great show, and it looks like a lot of fun. But, yeah, we got a battle. Steve Gottschalk dropping back just a little bit.
You're too fast.
Yeah. Why?
They'd be like, look, you win too many championships, and you just too
no.
GQ for them.
Yeah, I would comment on that, but we don't want to go there. We do got 6 trucks, though, 3 rows side by side. Starting with Bobby Terrell, the number 4. He's on the inside of the 44, Glenn Campbell. Right behind them, side by sides, Mike Kelly and Chad Coleman. And then you got Trey Edson and Nick Silver there. They are all packed in.
They are. And then right behind all them's Justin Fuller looking, saying, okay, which way can I get around all these trucks? And I'll let them do what they need to do. But you got Trey Edson like there in the 10th place, Mike Kelly, Glenn Campbell. All these guys, man, are just duking out. We're in a caution.
Yes, sir. One more time, you know, and we had some trouble with the I can't quite see who that was, but coming off of the end there, that last corner, they had some trouble there. We've seen it last time.
Yeah, I think
the 48.
Yep, Bobby Wetzel and North. So let's see what happened. They were 3 wide back there for a moment. Watching Bobby Wetzel here. Oh, Bobby just got in the back end of the 48. Just a little close contact racing right there. 48 of Jimmy North. Hard licking to the wall. These guys, man, are put this track. I don't know how well you want to go 3 wide here. I mean, you tell me, Gerald.
Well, we've had 4 cautions here in 40 laps, so you know, obviously they're having a little bit of trouble out there. It's very unusual for these Sim500 guys to have this many cautions early on, which is what I said earlier. You know, Phoenix is a tough track. The thing about it is that's exactly what Justin Fuller needed because he started 30th. He worked his way up to 15th. Then he came out of the pits. I think he might have gained a couple spots in the pits there, and then they went green again. So caution comes back out, gives him another chance. He's up to 12th right now. So not what Dave Comstock wants to see, and exactly what Justin Fuller needed.
Yeah, and, you know, just to go back on what you was talking about as far as Phoenix and caution-wise goes, you know, we've seen these guys week in and week out. We know they're constant professionals out here at iRacing. They can get around the track. But I'm going to tell you what, Phoenix, and I've done a lot of broadcasted races and leagues here at Phoenix. It just seems like no matter who is out here, this track is a nuisance when it comes to cautions. Gerald, I've had a race, man, that's been in the 20s before.
Yeah, and that's exactly the stuff I was talking about, Joe. You know, when we started the race today, you know, Phoenix, you know, next race is Homestead. So Phoenix is such a crucial place to want to get a good finish or to have to get a good finish, you know, and for it to be as tough as it is on us sometimes, you know, because sometimes you're just really good and sometimes you just can't find it. You're just searching the whole time for it and you can't get it. But hopefully you get a good finish, you know, or don't get caught up in some stuff that happens out there. So it's just a whole lot of things that can happen to you here at Phoenix.
And, you know, this is such a different style track that you have to drive, too. We talk about different style tracks here. You know, this one has the, what they call it, the open dog leg there. So it's kind of like a swooping around type leg. And then you've got turn 4 and turn 3 and 4, which is almost kind of flat. So it's kind of different on each end of the track here. And like you said, you have to drive it differently. And that's the thing here. And you can overdrive this track, I think, very easily. And I think that's what we're seeing. And I think that's what I've seen in the past. Let me rephrase that. I don't know if that's what we're seeing tonight, but I mean, I think that's what I've seen in the past is you get out here in this track, man, it's momentum, it's fast, but I think you can overdrive it. I know I do.
Yeah. Well, Phoenix, it presents opportunities for you, you know, but what opportunities becomes risks here at Phoenix. So the open dog leg, it says, hey, it's shorter if you go this way. So you kind of want to go that way because you'll gain a tenth or two. But then again, the risk of it is it's very dangerous, especially with a loose race car, especially the Cup Series. You know, they go on and off of these transitions. Sometimes it's a little bumpy, and you go down there and it's a little bit slick, and you end up, you know, losing a lot of tenths instead of gaining one. But if you can do it 10 times in a row, you gain 10 tenths. That's a whole second. But if you mess up once, you go all the way to the back.
You know, and you're right, and you talk about that too, the risk to going into that dog leg. You might go way down there shooting up, but you got to come back up on that track to make turn 3 and set that turn up. So there's a risk there, and like you said, you can gain a lot, but you can also lose a lot here as we're getting set to go back. Green flag. But the man out front, David Comstock, he's got the place figured out as of right now. But can E.J. O'Rourke turn up the heat on him up front and see if he can't take that spot away as the pace car's coming out of turn 4, drops off on pit road. David Comstock's going to drop the hammer. We're going back racing here at Phoenix in the desert. They make them loud, and David does get another good start.
Yeah, the inside line, the 55, I believe it was, Timothy Johnson, he didn't get a great restart. It kind of stacked up a little bit behind him there, but they got it all sorted out, and these guys go down through 1 and 2. They could come out pretty good here, but look at them on the backstretch, Joe.
Man, 3 wide there with Justin Fuller, Glenn Campbell, Nick Silver. I'm going to tell you, Justin's not scared to put that truck 3 wide as of right now, and he's doing it again in turn 3 and 4. Now, that's not a place, I just don't feel like that's a place that you'd want to do that in.
Yeah, you know, and contact in front of them.
Oh,
they barely made it through there. Sean Bounty barely makes it.
Gerald, let me say something. If Justin Fuller's heart was not racing 100 and 300 mile an hour, it is after this right here, folks. Let me show you from his hood view just how close he missed the 2 machine. You just saw it right there. Wow. That was very, very close and could have put an end to his race.
It definitely could have, you know, and the luck went his way. That's where you got to be a little bit lucky. And he had that little bit of luck that time. Him and a lot of other guys, you know, even Sean Bounty, you know, you watch Sean Bounty. I'm not sure if they actually make contact, but, you know, there was like 3 or 4 trucks that happened to right there, just like Justin Fuller. Yeah,
Justin, man, was right there. And just unfortunate, you know, that Mike Kelly there, and it looks like Bobby Terrell got into each other just a little bit, and man, chaos pursued in the back there. You're like, look, Sean Bounty made it through, but wow, just like that, man. I'm gonna tell you, like I said, if Justin Fuller's heart was not a racing, it should have been after that caution.
Yeah, you better believe it. These guys, man, they got all their adrenaline going, their heart rates up, you know, all that good stuff's happening right now, especially when, you know, somebody like Justin Fuller is coming up through the field like he is. It really pumps you up, man. You get it going. And, you know, you got a lot of men out there that are all wound up like that, you know, and it's fun. It's fun.
You want to, I'm going to bring Justin up here. I got to ask him on that one. Justin Fuller, Joe White in the booth, got a copy?
Yeah, we got you.
Well, I just said it. If your heart wasn't racing 200-300 mile an hour, it had to have been right after that right there. How do you explain what happened?
I saw Mike go to the left in the inside wall. I'm assuming he got ran over. I thought he was going to keep it down, and because usually that's what happens here. They like bounce off the inside wall and they don't really slide right back up the track. But that time he did, and I just spiked the brakes, turned hard left, and luckily I was able to miss it.
Absolutely. Well, you've got a fast truck. You know what's in line. You've 1 point out of that final 4 there. And Timothy Johnson's been up front all night long. I know you got up there earlier on, you and your teammate. I love seeing hard racing between y'all. Do you think you got that truck to get back up front here again and clinch that 4th place spot?
Personally, I think we're the fastest truck here. I think we're going to win this race.
All right, that's what we want to hear. Well, I'll tell you what, there it is. Good luck, Justin.
Thank you.
All right, get it right.
I love hearing that,
yeah,
Joe.
Yeah, that's confidence right there.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's being honest. You know, you really believe it, so you say it out loud. You know, there's nothing wrong with that, and
Yeah.
I support that 1,000%.
You know what? And
And he
I
looks
can't
like it, too.
disagree. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I can't disagree with it because he has came through the field not once, but now he's coming through it twice. Now he missed a big one right there. He got a little lucky, so you know luck's on his side on that one because as much as fast as he was, he could have very well got caught up in that wreck, and it all would have went downhill from there. But he's still in the run, and he, like he just said, I feel, yeah, if he can get up front, man, I don't know. I think he can go by David.
Yeah, well, we're 50 laps in. You know, this is the 5th caution, and he's been up back and forth through the field a couple times already.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would say he's got a good shot. We're only, a third of the way through this, 50 to 150. So, a long way to go still. And, I would assume the best place for him to be is up front. That way you don't have to worry about none of that stuff. And that's where he's trying to get.
And absolutely, sitting in 8th right now, doesn't have far to go as lights on the pace car off. We're going to that green flag racing here at Phoenix. Been a good one, and we're talking about Justin Fuller, who is 1 point out. 00 is quick about. Oh yeah, no doubt about it. I'd say he can too, but right now the 42, it's all his race, and he's going to try to prove that he can come out here and win this thing tonight. David Comstock, he did it last week in Texas. Or a week prior, a couple weeks ago. There's the pace cars in. Green flag flies. We're back here racing at Phoenix. David gets a good jump out front.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with the 55 on these restarts, but he's hesitating a little bit there on the inside, which is probably not a bad thing. It's letting them get separated a little bit up towards the front so they can have an easier run.
Well, right now he doesn't want to hesitate too much because Justin Fuller is in front of Timothy Johnson, and he's 2 positions ahead of him and is still looking for more. He's on the back end of Nick Timms on the inside of Steve Goschalk. He just said it before, I'm the fastest out here. I plan to win this thing.
Yeah, it looks like the 20 of Chad's going to try to follow him up through there, too. And it looks like the 20's got a pretty quick truck as well. Of course, it's not as fast as that 00. As you see how he stretches out that gap there just a little bit. As E.J. O'Rourke drops back a couple spots there in the 41, he decides, nah, we're going to fight for this spot here. He's not going to let Chad by.
Well, I don't know if you saw it earlier there. EJ had to chase the truck. It got a little loose from him there, so he had to get out of it, and he lost all those positions. And that puts Justin Fuller up to 3rd. Nick Timms right there in 2nd. David Comstock still out front. And we're just going to see just how fast the 00 is. If he makes it around Nick, to see if he can run down David up front there. The biggest 2 things here. Let's fix that up, yeah. Biggest 2 things here is how hard will that David race Justin up front.
Oh, he's going to race him hard too, but right now he's trying to get as far away from him as possible because look at him. He's trying to make that pass around Nick Timms, and he's cleared him here going through 1 and 2, if that's what you want to call it, 1 and 2, turn 1, whatever. Now he's got a shot at trying to run down Dave Comstock.
Well, I tell you what, he has done it. He has ran through the field, went back, came through the field again. What's up, John? How you doing? Appreciate everybody. Good battle going on between E.J. O'Rourke and Nick Timms here. Again, Gerald, I got to give a shout out here at the Sim500. I love the rule set, the mindset of the drivers here. Let them race, man. That's pretty much what it is. I mean, they got a few rules here and there, but for the most part, hey, they let these guys, man, have at it on the track, and I like that mentality. And for the most part, look, they put on a pretty good show.
Yeah, more rules, more problems is the way I see it, and they definitely put on a great show, like you said, let them race, and that's what they're doing. They're out there racing, and it keeps the crime down a little bit. People got less things to cry about, less rules to exploit.
There you go. I'm off. I'm glad somebody else, man, actually says that, and I don't say it all the time, so I'm starting to sound like a bad guy, man, or whining all the time when I say it. But I'm with you. More rules, more problems. Right now, though, Dave Comstock, he's ruling the track. He is out front by about 8/10 over Justin Fuller. I'm looking at the lap times. Those 2 guys look about even. I mean, Justin's a tick faster than him. When I say that, it's only by maybe a couple hundreds.
Yeah, less than a half a tenth. Yeah, so it's close. These guys both have fast trucks, and I think it's going to be a battle between these 2 for the win.
absolutely. And even if Justin gets to his back bumper, passing him is going to be another thing. It's so tough to pass. So you see EJ O'Rourke trying to work over Nick Timms for the third place spot. EJ is pretty much, he's coming in leading the points right now. Yeah, I mean, the 00 is catching him slowly. I'm looking at the times. At the times that he is catching him, even though he might could get to his bumper, they're so close in times. Getting around him is going to be the problem.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy to get around. I know that they got their hands full. You know, they're driving these trucks pretty hard, and it's really slick out there. So they got a lot of work that's involved in making one lap here, much less another 100 or 90 laps. So they still got a whole lot of work to do. I believe some of them is downshifting through 1 and 2, or well, 1. I keep saying 1 and 2, but
they do that in the trucks.
Yeah, I would say you might want to have to jump in the cockpit with one of these guys, but I would say, yeah, they possibly downshifting in 1.
Well, let's ride with Justin Fuller. We just saw him put down the drop down, little tattletale needle, so to speak. Watch the gear here. I did see him hit 3rd and go to 4th. You're right. I never noticed that they did that here. I know they do it at Gateway a lot of times, but didn't know they did it here at Phoenix. I think I heard somebody say that one time. What is 3 and 4, I believe, is when they do it, right?
Well, 3 and 4 is really slick. So, you know,
he's doing 1 and 2. My bad. He did it in 1
might be
right
a
there.
truck. Sorry, Joe.
Oh, no, he did it in 1. My bad. He did. I just saw it. He went into turn 1 right there, and he did it.
Oh, yeah. You know, I don't think that's what everybody's doing, so we might have gave a secret away. I'm not sure if David is.
Sorry,
or not.
Justin. Well, Nick Timms is. I just saw him do it. You said David's not doing it? Let's watch
I'm
David
not sure.
ride.
No, I don't know.
Let's ride with him here. We'll
so
find out right quick. We'll ride with him here as he comes through the dog leg. He's still in 4th gear, but most of it I've seen is happening in turn 1. So as they come out of turn 3 and 4, he's still in 4th. Yeah, I don't think I'd probably want to drop down to 3rd coming out as slick as 4 is, but we'll see him going into turn 1. No, he's staying in 4th.
Yeah, so some of them downshifting and some of them hitting. I guess it's working out. Hey, maybe downshifting is the way to go. So if you're out there listening, hey, try it out. I guess it's too late now.
We're not going, you know, if that was a secret, Gerald, blame Gerald.
I'm sorry. Well, you know, it started off with a thought. You know, I was thinking I've done it here, so I wasn't for sure if they were or not. And, you know, we found out that they was.
Hey, well, news to me because I'd never done it. I'd never have heard. I heard Gateway, obviously, that track, so that was news to me. So I was like, throw up my little drop down here, man, a little tattletale on him and see, and sure enough, it's like the only two that I'm seeing right now is Justin Fuller and Nick Timms has done it. Kind of went through a couple of Nick Silver, Steve Goschalk, and none of them I've seen have downshifted in the 3rd.
Yeah, you know, these trucks, sometimes they bog down a little bit, so we downshift to, you know, keep them RPMs built up. It also helps you back the truck down so you ain't using total braking to turn, you know, slow the truck down to turn it. Kind of kicks out the back end sometimes for us. All kinds of stuff can happen from downshifting, so if it helps, we'll use it.
Well, I'll tell you what, I just watched Nick Timms. He actually downshifted all the way through the turn pretty much, and he actually is doing it in turn 3 and 4, or turn 3 that is. So he's doing it in 1, into 1 and 2, and 3 and 4. And it's like, wow, so he's doing it both ends, but right now maybe he might need to rethink the strategy. It ain't working too well.
Well, see, I probably wouldn't do it turn 3 because it's really slick. It's already giving these guys trouble, so we know it's not an easy way to get around here coming through there like that. But turns 1, it's, you know, it's a little tough to get around turn 1 sometimes, so you can downshift to help slow you down a little bit. You know, the worst part about 1 is if you overdrive it, and downshifting keeps you from overdriving it.
Well, I'm looking at it right here. And I'm surprised because me personally, I just know how this track is. He is downshifting it going into 3 and going all the way through 3, and just before he comes out of the turn, shifting it to 4th. To me, that usually is an upset of the car or the truck because that thing is not straight. So not only is he taking a risk on kicking that rear end out, maybe give him credit, he's holding it, but normally I'd have done spun that thing out.
It's easy to do, especially when the track's as hot as it is out there. And we was looking at these lap times here, and Justin's just still a half a tenth or so faster. That last lap, they was pretty much identical that time. But, you know, for the last few laps, you know, at one point, Justin was a whole tenth faster. So
Yeah.
He's walking him down, but Dave's doing an incredible job staying out front, and he's no slouch.
Here's the thing I'm looking at. We've been out here for 34 laps on this set of tires right now. Got a feeling Justin Fuller is, you know, we talk about it week in and week out. Some guys are aggressive, some guys are long runners. I think David's probably got a tad bit better of a long running machine and probably doesn't want to see a caution at this point because that would put Justin Fuller right there on him. I think Justin has a lot better short running style machine.
We'll find out if this thing goes a little bit further.
Well, the reason I say that is because, you know, we're 35 laps in, and I'm looking at the lap times, and obviously, like you just said, one lap it looks like David's faster, one lap Justin's faster. They're just so darn even between the two of them right now, really not making up a lot of time. He's getting there to him, but getting to him and past him is going to be I don't know, that's going to be a tall order.
I'd say so, yeah, very tall order. These guys are teammates too, but they're not going to take it easy on each other. You know that.
No, I mean, they call it aftermath motorsports. There's going to be a lot of aftermath cautions out. Ooh, what we got?
Jimmy North involved, Bobby Turrell, I think. No, the 6, my bad, Jonathan Mockert.
Jimmy is not having the night he wants. Oh, yeah, it looks like Jonathan just drove in a little bit too hard, got in the back of Jimmy North, and spun that thing on around. Man, hate to see that on his end.
Yeah, it's easy to do. We've seen. Actually, he's got 3 wins this season, Dave Comstock.
Well,
Sorry,
I just
was
mentioned
looking
it.
at my notes.
What's that?
I was just looking at my notes. I put some information in the chat, and I was wrong about it, so corrected that.
Well, you're the man. We know you got all the statistician going on, which this I don't think is what really David wanted to see. Now, I mean, obviously they're going to come down here and get 4 tires and fuel. He knows Justin's fast, but you put him on 4 new tires. I think now might be a safe bet that 00 probably will go around the 42, but then I've been wrong several times.
Yeah, now we're going to find out. You know, they're both going to start with the same tires and all that stuff, so we'll really get to find out. Justin don't have nobody in between him, but opportunity.
I don't know why Timothy Johnson would have stayed out like he just did.
Leading the lap?
That'd be my only reason. But other than that, he's given up a ton of track position because he was actually in the top 5, top 10.
Yeah.
So
well, he
hadn't
led a lap yet this race, so staying out for that extra point or so.
Gotcha.
Especially when the points are so tight like they are right now, you know. He's 4th right now. He's only in by 1 over Justin Fuller. He's got 1 point.
That's the question, though. Justin
that's
Fuller.
1 point.
Wait a minute. Justin Fuller did not stop in his pit stall. Did something happen on pit road?
Well, he better.
What? No, he actually, it's only showing 26 seconds.
Yeah, I see that. I'm going to go back and check.
I'm going to go back on the replay here and watch his pit stall and see. Because he came in with the leaders.
Yeah.
Let me see here. We're watching him back here on the replay, and no, he did not stop. I do not know why in the world he would not have stopped with 30-some laps on those tires. Woo! Well, hey, Mr. Champ, explain this one to me.
Well, before you start, Joe, we seen what happened the last time somebody stayed out, so
Right.
go ahead.
No, I mean, hey, I'm dumbfounded that you've got the fastest truck. Obviously, you come in with the leaders. Pit, take 4 tires. Even if you lost a couple positions, you know you can get back. I mean, you just came through the field twice. I mean, come on. Now you're out there on 30-something. Now he's coming in. So
yeah.
maybe to lead the lap. Well, he didn't lead the lap.
No.
See, he didn't even lead the lap. Okay, I'm scratching my head.
Yeah, he still hasn't led a lap, and you know, maybe that's what he was wanting to do. He thought the 44 was going to come in. He knew Timothy would. Timothy just wanted that lap for his point, and maybe he was going to go out and try to get him one of those too, because he wasn't for sure if he was going to be able to. But you know, when we talked to him earlier, he said he's going to win the race. So
Yeah.
I mean, you only got to lead one. That's the last one.
And here's the thing, though. He's playing a very dangerous game. That's my problem with what he's doing. Because, you know, every time you go back there, you play a risk factor that you're going to get caught up in a wreck. Even though he might have the fastest machine out here, one that actually probably could dominate and come through the field and win, you're taking your risk to get involved with something. It elevates to astronomical positions by doing what he is, because he's in 22nd right now. So we're getting set to go by green flag. So, folks, hey, stay tuned. It's about to get wild here. 4
tires on the outside here.
4 tires. I think David Comstock's pretty much going to utilize those things. But Glenn Campbell, he gets that jump out. As here comes David on the inside. He's going to have to worry about E.J. O'Rourke. But I think that high line's going to take it.
Oh, yeah. The 44 is super slow, no grip. He's going to lose a lot of spots, just like the last time somebody stayed out. So 3 wide here. EJ says, never mind, I don't want no part of that.
They were 4 wide going through that dog leg for a moment there, as Glenn Campbell still hanging, Chad Coleman and all them up front there along with them. It's just, you know, he's going to fall back on those 4 tires, but man, I got to watch Justin Fuller back here for a moment, see what he's doing. I know it's wild and hectic up front, but to come through the field like this, I understand you got confidence, but sometimes overconfidence can kill you. You got to be smart.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he didn't do that by plan, by design. I'm sure it was something happened.
If
I don't
he
know.
did, man, I tell you what, that's some confidence.
Well, see, maybe he come in and he forgot he didn't qualify, you know, and when you don't qualify, your pit stalls, you know, one of the first couple usually or further towards the back, right? So maybe when he come in, he was messing with his tires or doing a strategy or talking to his crew chief or something, and he rolled right past it.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, you know, we know he knows what he's doing. We know he's got a fast machine. He's going to probably come through the front here. The danger I look at is he's got to come through the front. He can easily get messed up with somebody else's, you know, wreck or get into a wreck himself there, coming through the front side. But right now he's up to 14th. As we back up front, Dave Comstock out front leading this one. Chad Coleman right there in second. Trey Edson sitting in third, Nick Silver up in the fourth, and E.J. O'Rourke the fifth. And you've got Tommy Ryan sitting in seventh. And we're talking about Timothy Johnson. He's in 16th. And we got a huge one in the back here.
Ouch. Still going around. Glenn Campbell involved.
Yeah, Jonathan Lockhart involved in it. Luckily, man, Justin Fuller just got through that one. Oh, Glenn Campbell, I think, was one of the first ones involved. And then he just kept spinning and...
Yeah, that's the truck that stayed out there, Joe.
Yeah, wow.
Woo. Oh, man. Jimmy North. You see Jimmy North there? He's did not want no part of that 44.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, Jimmy's he's had a up and down race, and this is typical. Folks, I'm going to go ahead and say it. This is not, you know, I know these guys are out here like, man, what is wrong with y'all? Y'all can't do that. This is typical Phoenix, and I'm used to this. This place, for some reason, is a caution magnet. I don't care who it is. For some reason, this track, I guess it just loves more yellows than it does green.
Yeah, it's a lot of cautions here, you know, and that's why I said, you know, it's a tough track, you know, and the worst part about it is the next one is the championship race. So, you know, they want to throw Phoenix right before the Homestead race, man. It drives me up a wall, but
Yeah.
you know, you try to make the best out of it. Come
Yeah.
out and have fun at least.
Said you wanted to talk to the 42.
Let's talk to him.
All right. Bring him up. Let you talk to him.
Dave Comstock, it's Jay Weezy, got a copy.
Hey, Jay.
Hey man, how you doing out there? Quick truck. I seen Justin. He's come through the field a couple times. He claims to have the fastest truck to win this race tonight, but I would have to say it's going to be a battle if you got anything to do with it. There for a while, about 2/10 faster than most of the other guys behind you. How's your race going?
Yeah, it's going good. It's impressive to see Fuller come up through the field a couple times now. So yeah, he's definitely got a quick truck. If he can get back up here, he'll definitely contend here up for the win. And we'll give it all we got. I mean, I'm not going to try to wreck him because I know what we're trying to go for next week. What's more important to set ourselves up for that. So try to get 3 of us teammates all lined up, get ready for Homestead.
Yeah, you know, coming out here with a good finish should pretty much lock you into that, you know. So good luck with that. We know you got a good shot at it. Very good truck. But yeah, Justin, you know, he's setting himself up. Any idea why he stayed out last time?
Yeah, it was halfway there. We had stage points, so he was trying to get as many stage points as he could ahead on Timothy, who he's battling with. And I think he was short by 3 there now, so he's got to pretty much go out and just get them all beat by positions. Winning the race obviously would be the best option for him. So just see what happens, see how well he's able to get back up here, and hopefully he can make up the point deficit, and we can all go on to Homestead and go have fun there.
Yeah, he's about 5 trucks behind you, man. And I was talking earlier, Aftermath Motorsports, man, y'all got a lot of fast trucks up there tonight. So good luck out there. And win number 3 at Texas. Let's see if we can make it 4.
Thanks.
Well, you're right. So that explains why he stayed out. I forgot all about that halfway there to try to capitalize on some bonus points. And just to reiterate what David was saying, he was actually only 1 point behind Timothy coming in. So I don't know if Timothy Johnson got bonus points. I have to go back and check. But either way, if you take the bonus points out, as of right now, Justin Fuller would be tied with Timothy Johnson. And I think the tiebreaker would go to Justin. Well,
Timothy stayed out there, and if you know that was halfway, then he got him.
Yeah, there you
go.
go.
You know, Justin was a little late in thinking about that. Timothy snuck in there and stole it.
Well, that explains why Timothy stayed out like he did. I was wondering why he stayed out that extra lap like he did, and well, that threw me for a loop anyway. What was going on? So. That's a good explanation there, man. But you're right. Aftermath Motorsports, they've got 3 drivers right now in the chase. Well, that is awesome to see. As we're getting set here to go back, green flag racing pace cars in. Dave Comstock out front. Chad Coleman, he's right there along it. David gets another good start. Fall asleep.
Oh, I'm here. I'm just watching these guys go through 1 and 2. You know, it's the most critical corner on a restart, man. It's that first turn, and they seem to make it though pretty good. Single file here, and look how quick Justin's already made it back up to 4th.
Yeah, we'll see if he can get around Trey Etzen right there. Trey, I know, is going to make it a little tough for him to get around him, and that's going to help out David out front there, along with Chad Coleman and E.J. O'Rourke right behind him. Jason Barham. Look at that, up to 6th place.
The 83 truck, yeah, running good tonight.
Yes, he is, having a good run. Timothy Johnson, he's hanging in there. He's up to 7th right now. Steve Goschalk to 8th. Nick Silver, he's up to 9th. Chad Cole back there. Well, he's in 9th now, but he was back in the 10th. They're battling side by side.
Yeah, a lot of chase drivers up, you know, towards the front, giving themselves that opportunity. You never know what could happen. Put yourself in position.
Yeah, right now it's a very good one. Looks like Justin Fuller's kind of stuck right there riding behind Trey Etzen. Looks like they're kind of even going in through here. So maybe he's just being patient. He knows he's up front here. I know he wants to win, and I understand that. I'll agree with him. He's probably got the fastest truck. But in the end of the day, he really needs to think about points. And as he sits right now, he should be in that fourth place position. Again, I'm not 100% sure on the bonus point situation. But, I mean, obviously winning the race definitely, that's going to put him where he needs to be. Unless Timothy Johnson finishes right behind him, then that might be another subject.
Yeah, we got 2 drivers that couldn't make it out tonight. Jose's in 7th, Jose Gonzalez. He didn't make the race, and Joe Hudson, he's in 8th.
Ooh, got truck in a wall.
And we got two other drivers that are not going to advance after tonight. So right now it's looking like Timothy Johnson and Steve Gottschalk, maybe. Or probably to Steve Gottschalk is at least one, but it's a battle between David, Timothy, and Justin, like we said earlier. One of those guys is not going to make it.
Yeah. Only 4's going after tonight. Let's just replay here, because I think Trey Edson, he just came out of the turn, lost it, and got up into the wall. Wow. He's got his hands full with that truck.
The 10?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's, you know, I've been watching him all night, and he's had a pretty quick truck. It looks like he's still searching for that little extra bit of speed. And, you know, that's the product of driving it hard, trying to find it. You know, sometimes you make a little mistake out there searching around for where it's at.
No doubt about it. We'll see how hard, man, Chad Coleman here is going to run. Justin Fuller looks like he's going to try to stay in that second place spot. He understands he definitely wants to stay up there. David Comstock still out front. Doesn't have the lead. And there it goes, man. Chad Coleman into the wall.
Ouch. Yeah, he's putting up a good fight here with Justin Fuller, but Justin going to clear him here coming into turn number 3. He's going to fight back hard on the outside, it looks like. I think Justin might have him. Not quite clear. He sticks that nose back in there and says, not yet.
Yeah, but then he sideways it going in there, so...
Yeah.
Wow, so there we go. We'll see if Justin Fuller this time could run down David Comstock. And like David said, you know, he obviously knows what's in hand, and he's not... Unfortunately, we already know he's not going to put up too much of a fight if Justin gets up there.
Yeah, and, you know, we're going to have at least one more pit stop here, whether it's under caution or a green flag stop.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, don't count it out. It actually is Phoenix, so we definitely won't know. Timothy Johnson up to 7th right now. Behind them, Steve Gottschalk, Nick Timms, Chad Cole rounding out the top 10. Everybody kind of side by side, or everybody kind of single file as of right now throughout the field. Been very patient at this place.
Yeah, patience is key at this place, but you also have to be pretty aggressive and drive that truck really hard, which is what they're doing.
Yeah, and that's the thing with this track. You have to drive that truck hard, like you said. The problem is sometimes this track, it won't
He's
let
caught
you.
him, Joe.
Yep.
Dave lets him go.
Yeah, I didn't think he was going to battle him too hard. David understands what he has to do. Yeah, he would love to win this race, but the thing about it is David's 8 points to the good over Timothy Johnson as of right now, and that man Justin Fuller. So it really doesn't matter if Justin wins and David stays right behind him. He knows Justin's not going to pass him.
Yeah, if, you know, Justin wins this race, that's pretty much going to solidify him. It's going to put Timothy, the one on the outside looking in.
And that's what teams do. You know, they work together. Now, obviously, I don't like seeing it a lot of times. I like seeing the guys get out there and race. But again, you know, that's what teams are there for. You use them, and, you know, you can either race them hard or go out there and get a game plan and win.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the main plan right there. Go out and win. It's not as easy to do it as it is to say it. But that's the goal.
Yeah, well, true. I didn't do a lot of winning, man, when I was out there, because it's
tough, Joe.
It's a tough track, man. Yeah. Tough track, tough leads, man. Yeah. Well, you know, I never went up against guys like you, man. You're like good.
No, I'd be
champ.
running. If I was out there, I'd probably be 15th or 10th.
You'd be done.
Who knows?
Done came through the field like 3 times and blown away, Justin.
Yeah. Okay. If he dragged me around, I'd be fast.
Hit your chain to the back. Say, let's go.
Yeah, tie me to the bumper of that thing. I'll be flying around here.
There you go. Nick Tim's trying to work over Steve Goschalk here for the 8th place spot. You got old Chad Cole, Nick Silver back there. They're battling it out. Good battle going on right here.
Yeah, that's where all the racing's going on, Joe. You know, these guys, they're all fighting for every little spot. You know, every truck's a point. So you're going to see a lot of good racing here around this part.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. And, you know, you got to look at it, too, is that now's the time when the tires are starting to wear out, trucks getting a little loose. You're going to see guys who have saved a little bit more conservative, start to come to the front. The guys that are running a little harder earlier in the run, they're going to start dropping back.
Yeah, I'm watching Tommy Ryan here. He's got a battle right in front of him, the 82 of Chad Cole, Nick Silver. Now, Nick, he's been up front there earlier, and we know he's fast, so right now he's stuck in traffic. I wonder how much different it is being stuck in traffic versus having clean air.
That's a good question. To Justin Fuller, probably none, because we've seen him come through the field, twice now. But
if
a lot of
not
these
3
guys,
times,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Not 3 times or whatever, but a lot of these guys out here, they, yeah, you're right. It seems like kind of just stuck. So, some tracks, yeah, that's a huge advantage. Track position.
Yeah.
I don't know about Phoenix. I think tires maybe would be more of a beneficial here.
Yeah, tires is beneficial everywhere. I mean, you know, they're the most important things. That's why you try to take care of them the best you can. You know, drive it hard and try to take care of them at the same time. It ain't that easy.
Well, I'll tell you what, good battle going on here. Been Jason Barham there and Chad Cole. They were right there side by side trading a little paint.
Yeah, I'm watching these guys. You know, Tommy just made his way around Chad Cole there. Now he's trying to get around Jason Barham, the 83, or vice versa. Maybe Jason's trying to stick it on in there, but I think Jason's having a little bit of trouble with his equipment.
Yeah, Ryan Howard there working him over on the backside of him. You got the 12 there of Scott Simley. He's trying to move it on up. Scott's in a different paint job here tonight, so it's kind of throwing me off. I'm used to seeing him in a different truck.
Yeah, so you got Tommy Ryan in 10th. You got Ryan Howard in 13th. That puts me in what, 15th?
Yeah, what are you talking about? You're like leading.
No.
I'm back. I'm in the pit. I'm on pit road. You know,
I've raced with Tommy and Ryan. You know, it's not easy. These guys are quick. And they're running 10th and 13th, so.
Yeah, I mean, competition level, we say it week in and week out. You know, it is steep here. I mean, these guys come out here, they're very, very good. Like you just said, yeah, Tommy is definitely fast out there. You know, with a lot of these guys, and we're watching the battle right here, actually watching Scott Simley along with Ryan Howard on them. But, yeah, I mean, Tommy, he's trying to do what he can. He's up to 10th right now. He's trying to work over Nick Silver to get in that top, you know, even further in the top 10.
Yeah, and you know, that's when he really comes in, the longer runs. You know, the 66, he, after about 10, 15 laps, he really starts to pick it up. Him and Ryan Howard, pretty much the same. They're always pretty fast, though, you know, shooting out of the gate. But, you know, they just seem to have it figured out on the longer runs, which is a good thing, you know.
Well, you know, we talk about the competition.
Oh,
and you got to look at
Ryan Howard just got loose off 4, about lost it. Almost collected the 14. Joey Katina, maybe Sean Bounty, but wow, that was close.
Yeah, get a man a Dr. Pepper. Calm him down.
That's going to drop him back there a little bit. He's 16th.
Turn 4 came off of it. It looked like a little bit too hard. Slick. It's part of the track. And I don't say, man, we're talking about. I'm looking here at the top 11 drivers, and you know, we talk about iRacing.com, and we talk about the iRating system, which is iRacing's way of showing how good a driver is, so to speak. Sometimes it's pretty accurate. Sometimes it can be skewed. but for the most part,
it's
for the most part, it's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, because obviously
Yeah.
to get as high as some of these numbers that I'm seeing, which are 5, 6, 4,
yeah.
58,
Oh, yeah.
you've got to do something right. I mean, you know, I know I think you can get maybe a 3, 25, 28, you know, up in those numbers and maybe skew it a little bit, but you start getting to the 6 and the 5s and what I'm seeing up there. Yeah, you're starting to get some guys that know how to get around the track.
Yeah, it's tough, man. You know, I think mine's right around 42. So,
See, I knew you were good.
I finished third the other night, and I lost 9. So, you know, it's tough, Joe. It's tough.
Yeah, I knew you was good. See, man, you're a professional already.
42. Okay.
Well,
You say
okay.
so, Joe.
42 would put you in 6th place right now.
Okay.
See, there you go, man.
All right. I stole mine. I'm just kidding.
Mine.
That stuff's so hard to get, Joe.
It
you know,
is.
and I like to say this: it's going to average out around where you belong.
It does.
I
And
mean,
that's what
regardless
it's
of
meant
what you
for.
try to do to make it better, it's not going to work. So it's going to go up and down a little bit all the time because it's going to average out about where you belong.
And, you know, and with that said, when we're talking about some of the guys in the field with 6 and 5,000 hours, you know they're bad fast. I mean, a lot of these guys are in the 3s, 4s, 5s, and the 6s. But you know you've got some of the top tier guys in iRacing here in the trucks that they come out here. So that's what we're speaking of. Not to take anything away from anybody, but man, Justin Fuller right now has got a second lead. But what I'm seeing here is it's kind of leveling off. We're getting to that point in the run. I'm trying to see if David Comstock maybe time-wise is matching him. Looks like maybe one lap, one's faster, the other lap's not.
About a half
like
a 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, give or take. That time it was a little over a 10. So Justin still figured out how to get around here, even on the hotter, older tires.
Yeah.
And still be fast, or at least a little bit faster than everybody else. And, you know, he's opened up he's over a second lead over David Comstock.
Well, the one good thing about what cautions do early on is it calms a lot of drivers down. I think
We got
I've said
drivers coming on pit road, Joe. Trey Edson, our points leader as well, EJ.
Yeah, okay. We got some green flag stops happening. I've said it time and time again, Gerald. Guys get out here, and I feel like early on in the race they attack the track, and the track basically bites them back. When we get those early cautions, and then later on they kind of realize, oh, well, we can't do that. They kind of calm down. I think it's what stage we're in right now.
Yeah, you know, and the tires they kind of average out, you know, as far as lap times go. After they get so old, they kind of just hover around that same lap time. They really don't get a whole lot worse or a whole lot better. Well, they definitely don't get better, but you know, it usually will average out once you hit a certain amount of laps to where you're pretty much running that same lap time. There at the beginning, the first 15 laps, you usually drop about 1/10 of a second each lap until it gets to that point to where it kind of just hangs out there. And we got the 20 of Chad Coleman coming down pit road here. So our first one in the top. Well, no, EJ was 5th when he came in. So yeah, Chad Coleman come in out of 3rd.
Well, the top two guys have been out there for 41 and 43 laps, respectively. Kind of looking right now, they would actually, you know, they could make it the whole entire way. Definitely on one pit stop, like what you were talking about.
Oh, yeah.
So, no problems with that. Justin Fuller definitely, once he got out front, I like the confidence in what he said earlier. I came here, I'm going to win this race.
Yeah, I got the fastest truck. I'm going to win this, but he needs to get his butt down pit road if he wants to have a really good shot at it.
Well, yeah, that's what Kevin Harvick's going to do this weekend at Phoenix. I'm going to win this race because of that stupid penalty that, real quick, I don't understand. How do you get past not one, but 2 pre-race inspections for the same parts and then get past post-race inspection afterwards and then get a penalty? I don't get it. NASCAR is something else.
Hear the news yet?
Something about some spoiler was different or something, but they're not coming up with what the spoiler is. They gave him an L1 penalty and basically encumbered his win, and now he's not locked into the championship. And they fined him 40 points, so now he's like 3 or some odd points out from over a spoiler that they found at the R&D Center in Concord, North Carolina. Okay, 2 days after the race that they said they found. Well, my thing is, okay, if his spoiler was different...
Well, they had already checked it, though.
Yeah, how do they not know a part that NASCAR gives them? Okay, this is a part NASCAR gives them, all teams. How in the world do you get through pre-race, qualifying, race, and then post-race with the same part? Wow.
Yeah, I mean, if they check it before and after the race, that means it's been tampered with after that, you know.
But so, that's what I'm saying is it's crazy how you can go through all that. Yeah, to me, I mean, here's my theory on it. I'm gonna leave it. Well, here's my theory on it. I'm gonna leave it at it. You've got Joey Logano. It would have been Kevin Harvick. That's 2 Fords. You've got 2 Toyotas as the next ones. You got none of those great, awesome new Chevy Camaros making it. Well, now this gives Chase Elliott a chance to get into the Final Four. I got a feeling NASCAR's trying that, but that's just my theory.
Well, if they checked it, you know, before the race and after the race, then it should be done with right there.
That's what I'm saying.
And if something comes up later on down the road after it's done being transported somewhere, then of course, yeah, somebody's done tampered with it. That's what I see.
Yeah, it's crazy, man, to see what's going on. I mean, read up on it. I was reading about it, and I'm like, how in the world does that work? But NASCAR, and then they worry about why their fans are bleeding out and then so forth. But hey, I'm gonna get off on a different subject because we're at green flag pit stops.
Yeah, and Justin Fuller, he come down pit road while we was talking about that. Got him some new shoes. He's back out there right now. Race leaders, the 82 of Chad Cole, Nick Silver in second, Scott Simley's in third, Ryan Howard, and Trey Edson is going to round out the top 5. Justin Fuller right now in 6th.
My bad. I know they don't give them the spoiler. They mandate something on the spoiler that they make them do or something from what I read. I don't know the whole logistics, but bottom line is, how did you make it through both of those inspections? And then 2 days later, you know, they say that it's there, and then they can't show anybody what the part was or what the problem was. They just said, oh, it's a L1 infraction of the spoiler. What? Okay.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from. You're kind of going a little too far when you talk about Chevy, but I hear you.
Well, but here's the thing. I mean, look at the logic. I mean, it's logical. Why else would that?
Well,
I mean,
he's gonna lock himself in.
Well, I hope he does. You know,
he should be locked in, though.
Yeah, he should be. But hey, that's NASCAR for you. And I tell you what, Justin Fuller. Yeah, Justin Fuller right now though, he's trying to lock himself into that Final Four tonight. He's sitting in 6th right now. If he actually would stay in the position, even if he stays in the position he is, I would say he pretty much is locked in right there. As Timothy Johnson is in 10th. Justin Fuller's up in 6th. Chad Cole, he pitted earlier on, so that's why he's yet to make a pit stop.
Our top 4 haven't been down pit road for that last stop yet. I'm pretty sure they can't make it the whole way. Maybe we'll have to wait and see, but yeah, we got 4 trucks still out there for about 44 laps or so. Trey Edson's the first one with the newer tires. He come in about 5 laps before Justin Fuller, which is why he's in front of Justin. Justin's not far behind, about right to his back bumper.
Yeah, true.
It's a good term. But yeah, it's looking good for Justin right now.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. You got Justin Fuller. He's right there in the 5th place spot. I think it's just all of a matter of time before he gets up there. Obviously, you know, Chad Cole and them, what they would love to see right now would be a caution. You know, because they would look like, you know, golden.
Yeah.
They'd be
and Timothy Johnson, you know, he's the one fighting for his life here tonight at Phoenix. And he gave himself a good shot at it by coming in about 5 laps or so before Justin did. But he's right now 9th?
Yep, 9th place, yep. So it has been interesting to see, and you know, the Aftermath Motorsports guys, they knew what they needed to do coming in here. You know, E.J. O'Rourke came in here leading the points. Chad Coleman sitting in second. But I'm going to tell you what, David Comstock, he's in third. Justin Fuller, that's the one we've been talking about. He was 1 point out of the fourth place spot. And tonight, he just pretty much just said, hey, I'm going to win this thing.
Yeah, that's a good thing, you know. Come in and win. Make sure you lock yourself in. That's one way to guarantee yourself to the next championship race coming up at Homestead. It really hurts, you know, Timothy Johnston because, you know, those are the two pretty much battling. So right now it's not looking good for the 55.
Yeah, I like Slim Jims. They're good too. I don't know if they're good for you, but I do like Slim Jims. I did get some of the kick-ass beef jerky. That's pretty good stuff.
Did you?
Yeah, they sent me some. They didn't send you none?
I went and looked at it. It looked good.
I'm going to tell them, man, they let you out. I'm going to get up with Jason Barham and say, look, man, what do you leave out Jay Weezy for?
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
I tried to scratch the screen to do the scratch and sniff, but it didn't work.
Oh, it didn't work?
Got an old monitor.
You ain't got one of them new 4K smell-o-visions?
No.
They're coming out Black Friday, so make sure
It's
you
on
get
my
one
Christmas
after Turkey
list.
Day. All right, yeah, after Black Friday you can get you one after Turkey Day. So don't get one smell like a turkey. Make sure you get one smell pretty good, like an apple pie or something.
Well, my birthday's next Thursday, so you can, you know, keep that in mind.
All right, I definitely will. Give me your address, and I definitely will mail you a picture of an awesome TV.
And a picture of some beef jerky.
And yeah, you can put them together. I wouldn't advise eating them, but hey, you can try to sniff on it all you need. Maybe I'll rub some Slim Jim on the paper, and that way it'll smell.
There we go. That's creative.
There we go. That's what's called smell-o-mail.
Smell-o-mail. Good one. That's a good one.
Oh, Lordy. Well, Chad Cole's yet to come into the pits here. As Nick Silver still in second, Scott Simley up at the third, Ryan Howard there in fourth. They've been out for about 51 laps, respectively. I'm looking at their lap times, not too bad, all about a second slower than what Justin Fuller is. And I'm looking at where Timothy Johnson is right now. He's in ninth. He's not too far off as far as, you know, time-wise. Justin Fuller, yeah, that's right. You know, a happy early birthday, Gerald. How old you going to be?
Thank you.
You know, 18?
We'll be here next week for the championship race, though. So
you're going to be 18?
Got a way to go. Yeah, I'll be 22. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll go with that.
I could tell you like I tell. What's that? Go ahead.
You like Blimpie?
I like Blimpie.
Do you like Blimpie?
I like Blimpie. I think that's what we
You
go
always
high
ask
and wide.
me. I just wanted to ask you.
I like Blimpie. We don't have any Blimpies here, but I like Blimpie. Because it's one of them happy words, man. And I tell you what, we can go high and wide here with the Blimpie cam, folks. And that's a good, shows you a good shot of the facility and just how far apart the guys are, and watching Justin Fuller here. But the Blimpie cam, like I said, yeah, I asked everybody if you like Blimpie because I don't know, it's just a happy word. You can't really sound mean saying Blimpie. You could be the maddest person in the world. I think you could be the devil and come up and say Blimpie. It just does not ring off your tongue as some of the other harsh words. So it's kind of a happy word, and that's why I always say the challenge out there. If you get hit in the head with a rock or run over by a car or something, say Blimpie. I mean, it's going to make you either feel better or maybe not, or sound happier when the paramedics come pick you up. But
I'm
hey,
going to say more Blimpie. Say
Blimpie car or something. I don't know.
Times.
Yeah, Blimpie. You know, I mean, there you go. I real quick, I play the Call of Duty game, and they have a guy on there that has a dog, and I call him Blimpie, so I always go, get him, Blimpie, and he goes out there and bites everybody on the other team.
Oh, bad dog.
I love it. It's awesome, man. Blimpie. OSRN Network, OnlineSimRacingNetwork.com, your home for fun and exciting sim racing. They call it the Blimpie Cam, folks. Like I say, it's a happy word. Say it with everybody.
Ryan Howard finally decided to come on the pit road there in the 33 truck. He dropped out of fourth position to make his way down pit road. That's going to put Justin Fuller up to fourth. Chad Cole's still the race leader right now. Nick
Yeah,
Silver in
he's staying
second.
out pretty
Scott
long.
Simley.
Staying out there pretty long, 56 laps, 57 laps right now. And Oliver, I've said that before. I mean, if you want to take the chance of your significant other, your wife, or your lover or neighbor, well, your neighbor you might do, but if you want to call a woman Blimpy, be my guest. Let me know how it works out for you. Gerald, would you go that far?
Possibly. Yeah.
Okay. Let me know how it works out for you.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Oliver.
Ladies and gentlemen, it was nice, man, working with Gerald. He's been a great guy, man. But, you know, won't make him bash too many more of the birthdays after that.
Oh, Oliver, calm down. I gotta work here. Can't laugh like that.
Justin Fuller, man, right now up in the fourth. He's actually, you know, he's coming on, but those tires should be starting to trail off here just a little bit. But you know, we've only got 8 laps to go here, and my question: can Nick Silver go the entire way?
I don't think he's going to be able to, considering Chad Cole. I think that's his plan was to go all the way, and he decided, I don't think I'll make it, so he's on pit road now. Maybe just no, he's going to take tires. But yeah, it'd be cool to see somebody win off strategies. 9 seconds ahead of Justin Fuller. Justin's closing pretty quick.
I see this, but never mind, man. I tell you what. Coming into pits with about 7 laps to go. Gonna hand it back over to Justin Fuller. I was just looking, because if they would have made it another couple laps on the caution with a flu, that'd been over with. Yeah. Now Justin Fuller, he's got a good lead over Trey Edson by about 4 seconds. Chad Cole's up to 3rd. Dave Comstock up to 4th. Timothy Johnson pulls it to 5th. I mean, Timothy's done everything he knows to do tonight, but just not going to be enough, I don't feel. Now, I'm not 100% sure on those bonus points of how those calculated earlier, but I still at this point feel like Justin Fuller's going to get that 4th place if it ended down.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Yeah, so, you know, if you want to get into it, we can talk about it. EJ, I think, locked in. Chad Coleman, Dave Comstock, and Justin Fuller, they're probably going to be the ones moving on next week. We'll know more here when the checker flag comes down.
Absolutely. And you're welcome, Nick. I mean, I tell you what, tell her, man, that, did you call her Blimpy, or did you just say Blimpy?
Yeah. There's a couple of things you can't say, or a couple times you can't say that, so.
Yeah, that's true,
You know.
I mean, you could say, like, get me a Blimpy sandwich, woman. But then again, I wouldn't advise that either, because you might get a pot thrown at you. Yeah, yeah. I mean, hey, but we're coming down with 5 to go in this one, and Justin Fuller is doing what he said he was going to do: win this race. And right now, as long as he does not mess up anything on this track here, he's definitely going to put this thing in victory lane, as he is out front by about 2.7 seconds.
Yeah, he's got a great lead there, almost 3 seconds over his teammate Trey Edson. Chad Coleman in 3rd. His other teammate, well, Dave Comstock just took over that 3rd spot there in the 42. But he's working on it anyways. He's got a nose out in front of him. He couldn't clear him coming off of 4, so we got a battle here for that number 3 spot here between Chad and David.
Chad wants to hang on to it there. David wants it. Chad wants to stay in it, and Chad's going to dirt track it coming into the turn.
Wow, nice. Yeah, that unfortunately lost that battle for him there, losing that little bit of track.
Yeah, I hear you, Oliver. That's why you divorced. We'll just leave it at that.
Caution comes out now, though. You know, it's going to freeze the field, and that's going to put Justin in the lead. Yep. So he wouldn't mind seeing a caution now. You know, them other cautions, they helped him out too. So.
As long as he's not the caution. That's the biggest thing. Yeah, as long as he's not the caution, he wouldn't mind probably seeing one. Obviously, we want to see it go out green here, finishing on out. I mean, he's got a 2.9 second lead over Trey Edson, which is his teammate, and his teammate is in 3rd. So Aftermath Motorsports have just came out here and just definitely got this thing wrapped up the top 3.
Yeah, and
scary
7th.
coming into next week.
We got a car around. 1, 2, 3, and 7th. Aftermath Motorsports are right now. And, you know, the 10 of Trey Edson, he made that call on pit row to come down 5 laps early, which is going to put him ahead of David Comstock there to get that second spot.
Yep, well, Justin Fuller comes out of turn 4. He's going to win it, just like you said, man. And Ryan Howard's spinning it across the line there, but Trey Edson will come in second. Well, I tell you what, the man said he was going to win, and he did. He put it in victory lane, dominating fashion. He came through the field at least 2 or 3 times to get it done tonight. And man, I tell you what a run and what a race for Aftermath Motorsports. Dave Comstock in 3rd, Trey Edson in 2nd. And for my knowledge, they're going to have 3 drivers in the chase.
Oh yeah. And EJ's locked himself in. And of course, Justin Fuller, I think he did enough because, you know, looking at the race results here.
Well, now look, I moved Justin Fuller up here, and he runs back down there to the, what you call it?
He ain't done.
Yeah.
EJ O'Rourke finishes 7th. And Timothy Johnson comes out of here with a top 5, so he put up one heck of a fight.
Yes, he did.
I think, unfortunately, he's going to be maybe 2 points.
Yeah, Joey Katina sent me a message, said he's going to get it updated real quick here, so maybe you can pull that up while we're bringing some guys. But let's bring up the 3rd place man, Dave Comstock. Let's get a word with him.
David, it's Jay Wiz. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, I think Trey had a 5-lap, little older tires there, so pit strategy might have took that 2nd place. Would you agree?
Yeah, he did the undercut there with the pit strategy, which is it's either a hit or miss. It seems to be, I guess, in the 1.5 miles, you can't quite get away with that. Where here in the short tracks, you can do that and get away with it. It seems like so. Good move on him. Good call all around with our whole team. Where I think we got at least 3 of us that are in contention, all going to Homestead with to try to win the championship between EJ, Fuller, and myself now.
Oh yeah, Aftermath Motorsports, man, they really performed well here at Phoenix. 1, 2, 3, and 7th. Great job for the team itself. Great race for you, man. Did a phenomenal job coming out early. I believe you led 90 laps here. Come home 3rd on the podium. Lock yourself into championship night at Homestead. What are you thinking moving forward?
We need to finish 2 spots better for next week is what I think is going to happen. Between the caliber of the guys that we got going in for it, it's going to be winner take all. So EJ's got to pick it up there, bringing the caboose of the 4 of us. So I'm sure he's going to be practicing a bunch like he always doesn't. And, we'll go ahead and put a good show on for everybody out there watching between all of us here at Aftermath Motorsports and everybody in the whole field. It's really fun racing here.
Oh, yeah, I enjoyed it, and, the 42 truck coming off a win at Texas, finishing on the podium tonight. Momentum's looking good moving into next week, so can't wait to see that. It's going to be an exciting race, especially with Aftermath Motorsports going against each other there for that championship. So good job out there tonight. Anybody want to thank?
Yeah, everybody Aftermath Motorsports with Trey, Fuller, EJ, all of us running here. Hats off to us getting all of our guys in contention in for our next week, and we just keep the mojo rolling and we'll all go have fun there, and hopefully we can come out with one of us a champion. RacingBiz.com. Go on to Facebook, search RacingBiz.com, and check out our auctions that we have every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern. Put your bids in to try to win some merchandise, racing memorabilia, stuff like that. Moss Energy, Gearmercy Trucking, JD Lair, JDR Graphics for Paint My Truck, EJ Brakes, Hick and Jicks. All the fans, friends, and family watching, you guys broadcasting, thank you guys.
Hey, David, thanks for talking to us during the race, and good job tonight. Good luck moving into next week.
Thanks.
All right, there you go, Dave Comstock, and I tell you what, he's one of the guys there, man, in the Aftermath Motorsports, and I was trying to refresh the points here. Haven't got them updated quite yet, so we'll bring up Trey Edson, 2nd place man. Let's get a word in with him.
Trey Edson, it's Jay Wiz. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
I was thinking about you for a while there during the race. You seemed like you was out there searching around a little bit, but you come home 2nd.
Yeah, got into Fuller early and kind of about cussed there. Threw away all my track position. So I wasn't in too big of a hurry to get back up through the field because if I caused another wreck, I'd have been parked. So I was trying to stay patient. About 100 to go. I took 2 tires to try to get some track position back because we were having like 5-lap runs pit, 5-lap runs pit. So I was like, let me get by some of these guys on pit road. That didn't really pay off because it stayed green and I just lost drive off. And then I guess it would be the final restart. I thought I was going to get a good launch and be able to get to second and race David for the win. But Chad was racing the hell out of me. I'll remember that since he's racing for a championship next week. So, and I got mad, overdrove 1 and 2, tore the right side of my truck off. So, then short pitted, kind of leapfrog him with fresh tires, and was able to hold on for second, which Fuller was so dang fast that I think I finished about where I should have. Second or third. I think that's where about the speed wise I should have finished. So, fun race once we got going green. I always love Phoenix, but yeah, just a little frustrated at myself for getting upset and then damaging the truck.
Yeah, well, after all that, I mean, it sounds like a tough night for you to come home second, man. Way to make this thing, turn this thing around and finish on the podium. Especially, you know, your team doing such a great job out there tonight. Aftermath did a phenomenal job here at Phoenix. You got 5 wins this season, man, and I know Chad, he put up a heck of a fight there for you, but you know, he went into one there, got kind of loose, and you got around him there. So it's fun watching you race as always. And anybody want to thank?
Yeah, man, always. Kick-ass beef jerky. They jumped on board last half the season here. It's going good. They kind of jumped on all the Aftermath trucks that didn't already have sponsors in place. So always appreciate that. Everyone go to kickassbeefjerky.com. That stuff, yeah. I think in the broadcast the other night, Joey said as soon as it arrives, it's gone the next day. So it's tasty, man. They keep sending me some, and it doesn't last long in the household. So gotta thank them. Kickassbeefjerky.com. Congrats to Fuller for making the Final Four. EJ, David. So we got Aftermath's got a 75% chance going into Homestead. So that's pretty cool. Hopefully I can be a part of it next year, running the full season. But again, thanks Joey. Thank you guys. Thanks Kick-Ass Beef Jerky.
Hey, maybe you can go into Homestead and get win number 6 and put a exclamation point on this season.
Man, I love that place. I love that place. We ran here early in the season. It's not a long story, I promise. I know we're short on time. And I was just so fast. I was so fast. And the same thing, I sped on pit road, killed myself, and got in a wreck coming back up through the field. But I'm super excited. I know them dudes are going to be driving their you-know-what's off for a championship. But I'm looking forward to Homestead. It's I always enjoy driving the truck there. So I should be able to see you guys Sunday for the Cup race.
Hey man, good luck. I wouldn't mind watching you do some burnouts at the end of the race next week. So.
Yeah, maybe I can win the race, and one of my teammates can get the title. We can all just burn it down the front stretch.
Yeah,
so that'd be a good time.
Yeah, teamwork.
Yeah, man.
Good talking to you.
Appreciate it. You guys have a good one.
All right, that's Trey Edson right there. Did an outstanding job. And just real quick, got the updated points, and he was right. EJ O'Rourke stayed in the top spot. Chad Coleman's in second. David Comstock held on to third. And I'm going to tell you what, Justin Fuller by 3 points leapfrogged Timothy Johnson for the last final spot. So that's your top 4 going to next week to vie for a championship at Homestead for the Sim500 SimSpeedShop.com Truck Series. Now let's bring up tonight's winner here, Justin Fuller. Justin Fuller, Joe White in the booth. Got a copy?
Yeah, we got you.
Man, well, congratulations first and foremost on the win. Second, 3 points. You came in 1 point out. You knew what you had to do. 3 points. You're going to Homestead to race for a championship with the Aftermath Motorsports. Man, I know this got to feel good. So, you got out of Homestead, or you got out of Phoenix here, going to Homestead. How you feeling heading into that?
Well, I absolutely love Homestead. We got a lot of momentum right now. We won Martinsville. probably maybe not should have, but we were in contention at least for the win at Texas. And I feel like when it comes to the Aftermath Motorsports guys, I'm just gonna say David because he's the one racing for the championship that against. I know EJ's there, but I feel like David thrives better on the 1.5 mile tracks. So I'll have my work cut out for me for sure. I feel like I definitely have an edge on him on the shorter tracks. But all in all, it was a very interesting race. It didn't come easy. We hit the wall both times in qualifying, coming off turn 4, and if anybody knows iRacing, that means your lap doesn't count. So we had to start in the back. We drove through the field. Nate got into me. I know it wasn't on purpose, but at the time I wasn't really too happy about it. But I just, I kept my composure, and we rebounded and drove back to the field again, and had a caution come out, I can't even think of the word, just a terrible time while I was getting ready to take the lead, or I was leading at the time, whichever the case may be, right around the midway point for the stage points. And I decided to just drive down through pit road so I could pit, come to 1 to green, get as many stage points as I could. Timothy decided to stay out, and he pitted on 2 to green. He ended up getting the 10 stage points. I got 8. But all in all, it was a really good race for me.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, you did what you said you do. We talked to you earlier on. You said you got to win the race. You had one of the fastest machines out there. You went through the field twice. I know there was a close call on one of them cautions, man. I tell you what, we talked to you around about that time there, and that probably shot the blood pressure up a whole lot. But like you said, you're going into Homestead next week, running for a championship. I gotta ask, 3/4 of it's going to be your teammates. How hard do you race now, knowing it's your teammates for the title?
I mean, to be like, fair, I think you saw it tonight. Aftermath Motorsports, we don't just move over for each other. We race each other. It's not going to be different. It's going to be work as normal. That track you can move around a lot, and that makes it really fun. And I love that track. It's one of my favorite speedways. So it's when I go into that race, I'm not going to go in with any different mentality. We're just going to run the best that we can, run the best race that we can. Be solid on pit road, no mistakes. But yeah, I'm not going to race any differently. I don't think David's going to race me differently. EJ normally he's kind of a pushover, and he just lets people go, so he might be the only one that doesn't. But at the end of the day, it won't be any different for him either. I mean, especially coming to the end of the race, he's going to race me, David, Chad, Trey, any one of us. Chad's not our teammate, by the way, but he's going to race any one of us just as hard. So it's going to be fun. We made it in on one point. We had a really poor chase here. Poor chase. We had a couple wins, but just had some issues, and we're looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the championship battle next week.
And it's going to be very interesting, and I'm going to tell you, it's going to be an awesome one to watch at Homestead. But I tell you what, you did an outstanding job, and you put some probably fear and some concern in a lot of the other competitors going into next week for that championship. But what you did here tonight at Phoenix, putting it in victory lane, you got anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, I want to thank Sim500 and all the admins for what they do. I want to thank Sim Speed Shop for sponsoring this series. Thank all the sponsors for Sim500, the Trans Service Cup Series. You got the FEG Series on Tuesday, Hitman on Thursday or Sunday nights. Thank you guys for putting on the broadcast here at OSRN. You guys do a great job. I'll go back and watch it tonight or tomorrow. One or the other. We'll figure that out here in a little bit. Yeah, I want to thank everybody. Everybody raced me clean tonight. I mean, I know Trey turned me there, but there wasn't too much, finagling on the track. It was a fairly clean race for Phoenix. Flat track, it's pretty difficult, flat, and it was a pretty smooth race for as far as I'm concerned, and everybody was respectful, and hopefully that'll carry in the next week.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, definitely, man. Again, congratulations, Justin Fuller, for making it in the Final Four, going to Homestead, and tonight's winner here at Phoenix. Well, I'll tell you what, Gerald, let's get the unofficial results order, because you're right, Justin Fuller does put it in victory lane and makes that Final Four there to buy for a championship next week. Trey Edson comes home in second. Dave Comstock, he's the other one there, hangs into third place into the points. In third place tonight, Chad Coleman. He's the other one. He's going to be vying for a championship next week. Finishes out in fourth. Timothy Johnson, just 3 points. Man, just the way it rolled. Did everything he could tonight. Had a good finish out of here. Top 5. Normally that would be an outstanding job for any points night. Tonight just a little bit short. He'll finish it out 5th tonight. Tommy Rhines ends up in 6th. E.J. O'Rourke comes in the leader in points. Well, he is the man that comes out of here still leading the points going into next week. As the final 4 will go for a championship. He comes in 7th, Sean Bounty 8th, Randy Yoakum 9th, and Nick Silver rounds the top 10. Look to the rest of this field. It was a pretty good race for Phoenix, just like what Justin said. I mean, this place is a tough place to race at.
Yeah, and he did a great job. You know, the whole Aftermath team did. You know, he got his 5th win after an up and down race. You know, a little bit of luck involved too, which is always good to have. You know, to walk out of here with the win, man. I tip my hat to him and congratulate him on the win and wish him luck moving forward into next week. You know, just as well as Chad Coleman. You know, E.J. O'Rourke and David Comstock. You know, they all did a great job out there tonight. And tip my hat also to Chad Coleman and EJ. You know, they fought hard this season and they earned their spot in there. So great job by them this whole season. And man, I enjoyed it. I love it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. But we're going to leave Phoenix tonight. 4 drivers next week will race for a championship as Justin Fuller punched his ticket to Homestead to try to be a champ here for the Sim500 SimSpeedShop.com Truck Series. Well, we're going to leave Phoenix and we go to the season finale next week. For myself, Joe White, and Gerald up here in the booth, everyone, have a good night.